Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to another day of us continuing the reading of Elsie Lincoln Benedict's book, How to Get Anything You Want. I will be your host, Carla Elizondo. Today is day 55, y'all. 55. If you missed any of the previous readings or you're interested in this book, which I highly recommend, all of the previous readings are in a playlist on YouTube. If you're already on YouTube, thank you so much. Like and subscribe, share with your friends. Make recommendations for the next book you want or just videos that you want. I am here for that, and I'm going to be doing more of that. But if you're on Facebook, I encourage you to come on over to YouTube. We have a great community over here. Thank you guys so much for your support and your love and all of your comments and just participating in this. I'm just so grateful. This is my jam. I love YouTube, YouTube University. Holler. All right, so we are going to continue reading this. We are on lesson number 4, set the gauge for what you want. We learned about our moods. We learned how to change our moods. We learned how to decide on what we want and be specific. And now we're going to set the gauges to head in that direction. Yesterday, we left off on her saying, look, you don't even have to believe in this. You just got to stay consistent and work with the laws. She says, listen to what I tell you. She says, listen, Linda, I will tell you how to do it. Just do it. You don't have to believe in it. You don't have to have faith. You don't have to know how. All you have to do is follow these instructions and stick to them. That's all she says. She was saying they have brought to thousands of skeptical people in this country the things that they wanted but never expected to get. They have worked miracles in the lives of the sick and wonders in the lives of the poor and unsuccessful. They will do the same for you because they are in accordance with unchanging eternal laws. Every man can use them quickly and miraculously if he will have enthusiasm, and slowly but surely, even if he lacks enthusiasm. But no man can nullify them. We can't stop these universal laws and principles from working. We can either just work with them or work against them. Your subconscious never looks beyond, or behind you. So your subconscious mind never looks beyond or behind your orders. It is your servant, a servant with unlimited power, but of absolute loyalty and unquestioning obedience. We used the example a couple of videos ago about you being a swarm of intelligence units. Pretend like every cell in your body is like a little worker bee. And your queen bee, your subconscious mind, will tell all of the bees what to do, how to vibrate, what frequency they're on, what to attract. But who is giving orders to the queen bee that then gives the orders to your whole body? You are. If you aren't, someone else is, the outside world, old programmings, your parents, teachers, neighbors, friends, rap music, Instagram. Like, who is speaking to your subconscious mind? Whatever you surround yourself with is what is going to feed into your subconscious mind to the queen bee. Show her more of this. Show her more people like this. Show her more examples of this. This is what she believes. Give her more of this. And then it'll give all of every cell in your body to start vibrating at that frequency, and you will attract to you exactly what's in harmony with that. Remember, we are electromagnetic beings. Our thoughts are electric. And then our field, our frequency, our vibratory field, our feelings, depending on how we're thinking, because how we're thinking dictates our feelings. So how we think, boom, gets sent out, and then we start feeling, and then we attract with our feelings. The feeling is the secret. Your frequency, how you feel, is what is your attraction point. Your heart is a magnet. How you feel, or your predominant moods, is your magnet. You will get more of it. It's like the algorithm. It'll just show you more of it. We've talked a lot about our search engine or our search page, For You page on TikTok, or the search page in Instagram. If you just look up that little magnifying glass at the bottom, the search glass, it'll show a page, and it shows you what you've been engaging in. It shows you what you got going on in your mind when it comes to Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But we do have an algorithm. That's really what those algorithms are mimicking, is this powerful supercomputer of our subconscious mind. That's really what's happening. It's so powerful. So what are we feeding our subconscious mind, aka our queen bee, which then gives the orders to our whole entire body? It says it's your servant. Your subconscious mind is your servant. Your queen bee is your servant. And it's your ultimate power. It has unlimited power. And it has absolute loyalty and unquestioning obedience. But we just have to consistently feed it the right information that we want. Whenever you really get your order to it, it sets to work instantly and will someday deliver it to you. unless you cancel the order. Whether you believe in its powers or not, just as heretofore it has been producing the wrong things in accordance with the orders you unknowingly gave it when you weren't even aware of its existence. So we think that, oh, like personal development is a choice. I'm not really into that, reading positive stuff. Maybe I'll get on a kick. I'll go to like a 2 day seminar. I get so excited, but I don't really focus every day. I don't have time for that. Life's busy. I have kids. I gotta take them to soccer and, I have a job and I just want to come home and lay down or play video games or scroll and just relax. Life is really busy. I feel you. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're in a place where you want to change, something's going to have to change. And it's temporary to change up your routine. That's why we have that 30-day self-discipline camp at the Napoleon Hill Institute to wake up every morning at 5:30. You might already be up at that time, but it's to participate in a live group call where we go over our gratitude, we visualize, we write down our goal, and we're just in a high vibratory group for an hour in the morning. They have them at 5:30 in pretty much every time zone. So if you're interested in that, message me and I'll give you a link. Or you can go to the website as I showed you the other day. You get 2 weeks free if you're interested in trying that. Go to the NapoleonHillInstitute.com. I think it's just NapoleonHillInstitute.com. But all the links are below as well if you're interested underneath my YouTube video. My email's there as well. So just reach out if you want to consult or work with me in any capacity, or if you're trying to, really rewrite your narrative and have new results in your life. That is my specialty. I went through it on my own. I still, new level, new devil, right? But I have gained the tools and really just, what is this? I just got my nails done and I was like, was that a crack? Anyways, but all my information is below if you're interested in support or anything else like that. So our subconscious mind has unquestionable obedience. If we put the order in, it's going to happen whether we like it or not, good or bad, unless we cancel it. So be aware. If up to now life has brought you mostly disappointment, if everything you tried has failed you, you could not be expected to have absolute confidence in the efficacy of these rules merely because I said that there was them. Therefore, I do not ask it. I shall give you, step by step, the rules for getting anything you want. All I ask is that you try them. I love it. She said this a few times already. She says, listen, y'all, I get it. If life has just gotten you down, if you've gotten the poo-poo end of the stick, and you just don't believe in all this malarkey, I feel you, Elsie Lincoln Benedict says. But she says, if you're open, if you do want change, just listen to me and follow these steps. You don't have to believe, you don't have to have faith, you don't even have to have enthusiasm, although it will help. She says, if you follow these steps, they will work. I love that. She says, I don't ask that you have confidence, absolute confidence. I shall give you step by step the rules for getting anything you want. All I ask is that you try them. They will work for you if you apply them, as they have for thousands of our students who have already used them during the past few years, and will remake your life as they have remade theirs. I think I looked up, because she used to do the circuits in Los Angeles. Oh, and she used to speak in downtown LA. She's actually buried. I should go put flowers at her gravestone, over in the valley, very much near where I used to live. But, it's just, you read these amazing people, like, God bless her, look at her. She's a real person living and breathing, right? She wrote this book 102 years ago now. And I just feel her, right? It's like you can tap in, as Napoleon Hill says, to our infinite intelligence, this super conscious mind that it's like ChatGPT, to be honest. It's like you can tap into the wisdom of anybody across all time and space, and you know what they would say. You know what advice they would give you when you really tune into the spirit, to the essence of someone, right? It's super cool. All right, so we can remake our lives just like all of these students remade theirs. Believe anything you prefer. Simply try them. She said, believe whatever you want, y'all, but just try. Just try these out. Simply try them. Confidence in them will come when they begin to produce results, which will be immediately. After that, bigger and better and faster results will come as you apply them more expertly, more frequently, and more enthusiastically. To be most effective, confident expectancy must be based on experience. Then it generates itself, thus saving you the trouble and leaving your subconscious free to attend to the actual working out of ways and means. Confidence attained in any other way is short lived and as unsatisfactory as a car that is forever having to be cranked. I have found in my many years of dealing with ambitious, reasonable people that it is better to produce results before demanding unquestioning confidence in these new teachings. I like that. She says, I have found in my many years of dealing with ambitious, reasonable people that it is better to produce results before demanding unquestioning confidence in these new teachings. I like her style. It is a somewhat slower process, but the only one capable of building a solid foundation. If the individual is to be permanently helped, I believe it is imperative and only fair that he be excused from blind confidence until he has achieved results which warrant confidence. This is so important, especially in the personal development, the manifestation world. To demand that somebody comes in and they have to have all the confidence in the world and totally believe 100%. And if they don't, then it's just not going to happen. It's like, please. If they haven't ever had results before, if you haven't ever had results before, it's okay. You have nothing to go off of. She's saying slowly but surely, continue to follow these principles until you get a little win. Then that'll be some evidence. Then get another little win. Start off. It's like the base camp goals as you climb to Mount Everest. Don't just, I am like throwing everything today. Don't just start at the bottom, like from 0 to 1 million. It's like, of course, anything's possible. But what if you just start from 0 to 5,000, 0 to 1,000, 0 to 2,000, then incrementally continue so you can build that confidence and see that these principles work. If one's teaching, oh, this is so, okay. So if the individual is to be permanently helped, I believe it is imperative and only fair that he be excused from blind confidence until he has achieved results which warrant confidence. So if you don't have blind confidence, and all the other people, the teachers and all the other students in whatever course you're a part of or group, and they're like, come on, don't you believe you must not have faith? It's like, shut the up. If you've had results, clearly that helps your faith. But if I haven't yet, kiss it. Let me run through this on my own and find my own results. First of all, it's none your biz, none your business how I get my results. Each person has to prove to themselves. That's what it is. And when other people wave their faith around and tries to compare it with yours, or you say something and it triggers them, you must not have faith. Have faith. It's like, shut up. You have all the faith you want. I'm going to, this is my business. I'm working on my goals, right? Of course, if you're working with a group of people, it's good to be on the same page. But when it comes to your individual goals, and it's also important in groups of people. It's like if you haven't, as a group, achieved something, it's like don't shoot yourself in the foot by having blind confidence if you haven't achieved it yet as a group. Like, it's not about being realistic, it's about obeying the laws. And when you work with a group of people, not everyone is going to be on the same page. So, where can you all meet together in agreement and then gain confidence as a group and then get the next level and the next level? It happens all the time in families, in couples, right? In friendships and businesses and companies. So I really like her perspective. So it's a somewhat slower process, but if you want to build a solid foundation, it's okay to build that confidence slowly. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. It's like we all just want to quantum leap and be there. We're comparing ourselves to, people that have been working for 5 or 10 years on this. It's the worst. So it's imperative and only fair that someone be excused from blind confidence until they have achieved the results that warrant, blind confidence. If one's teachings are worthless without faith, I love this. Listen to this. If someone's teachings are worthless without faith, the teacher either has not a complete grasp of the principles involved or is getting only temporary results. Ooh, this is so good. So, if a teacher that you're around, or even a person, says that nothing's going to work unless you have faith. This teacher is either doesn't understand these principles or might have had temporary results, like a one-hit wonder. Like maybe they succeeded in the past, but what are they doing now, right? It's like, are their results consistent in all areas to be able to say things like that to you? But even she's saying, I would never say that as a teacher. That's really good. The results, if any, in such cases are not from the principles laid down by the teacher, but from the faith of the student himself. That's true. Again, if somebody has unshakable faith, blind faith, it's probably because they've experienced results before. And so they shouldn't project onto somebody else who hasn't. It could be their boundary to not be around those people. Fair enough, but don't project onto other people that they should be have just more blind faith. It's like, yeah, yeah, it's just a very narrow-minded way to look at everybody. So, okay, in other words, if you are told that without perfect faith in certain principles, no good can come from applying them, it is obvious that your own faith and not the principles taught is the determining factor. In such case, you are applying not so much the principles taught as the principles of faith whose results are well known. The teacher who is sincere will not promise to teach you scientific principles of attainment and then fling the burden upon back on you through such an alibi. Okay, let's look at this. So the teacher who is sincere, like a real sincere honest teacher, will not promise to teach you scientific principles of attaining and then say, uh but you have to have complete and utter faith and be blind, and you can't doubt at all, or it's just not going to work. No. A truly scientific principle is eternal and unchanging. It is ever operative and as effective in producing results for the non-believer as for the believer if he applies them. That's what I love, honestly, about Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich are just like basic principles that work for everybody. You don't have to be smart. You don't got to have a lot of faith, although that is one of the principles. But if you work the other principle, they're going to work. The power of the mastermind, persistence, discipline. Maybe somebody doesn't have faith. They're reading about it. That's great. And they're gaining faith through persistence. All of these principles work together. But to have what Napoleon Hill calls unwavering faith, if you don't have results yet, you might not have unwavering faith. But stick to the principles that do speak to you. Do you have persistence? Do you have discipline? Do you have the power of the mastermind? Do you have specialized knowledge? Are you organized in your planning? These are all those principles from the book, Think and Grow Rich. And I think that's why you see such a variety of people who have credited their success, whether it be through business, entertainment, um, arts, sports, to the success philosophy of Napoleon Hill. It's kind of like the Gateway. It's such a grounded philosophy. And then you can go as woo as you want. But if you don't have that foundation that you can fall back on, regardless of if you meditate or, tap in or get your crystal bath going on, right? Not to poo-poo any of that, but if you don't have the grounded principles, it's unsustainable, you know? You might have a one-hit wonder, you might attract success once or maybe even twice, but like, how's the rest of your life? How's every other area of your life? Is it consistent? Is it like 1 + 1 = 2, like a formula? Or is it just, it's like dieting. It's like, was it a yo-yo diet? Was it yo-yo manifestation where it's going to fall back? Or was it based on something sustainable that you can use no matter what, whether you believe it or not? That's what she's saying. A true scientific principle is eternal and unchanging. It is not operative and as effective in producing results for the non-believer as for the believer, if he applies them. This is not a denial of the great law of faith, but rather a declaration that faith has principles of its own, so great and glorious that they deserve to be known as such and given full credit, not exploited to furnish horsepower for other so-called principles, which would be useless without it. So This is not a denial of the great law of faith, but rather a declaration that faith has principles of its own, so great and glorious they deserve to be known as such and given full credit, not exploited to furnish horsepower for other so-called principles which would be useless without them. Faith deserves all the honor and glory that we give it, but faith is a lie. Faith in a lie will not make it the truth. Ooh, that's so good. So faith deserves all the honor and glory that we give it, but faith in a lie will not make it the truth, nor will lack of faith in the truth make that truth false. Faith is the greatest force in the world because it is the supreme energizer, the attitude which instantly turns on the power that connects us with the sublime. Faith is a magic substance, one drop of which, when added to any human effort, will make that effort hundreds, thousands, millions of times more effective because it concentrates all our forces in one direction, removes vacillation, intensifies, revivifies desire. In other words, releases our greatest powers. Yeah, in the philosophy of success, the first principle is like desire, like what do you want? And then faith is the second one. Because again, you can go on to the other principles, but without faith, like she says, without belief, faith, it's like it'll happen, but slower. But faith is that magical substance. She said it's a magic substance, one drop of which, when added to any human effort, will make that effort hundreds, thousands, millions of times more effective because it concentrates all of our forces in one direction, removes vacillation, the ups and downs, intensifies, revivifies desire, in other words, releases our greatest powers. The law of faith is itself a scientific principle and can be briefly explained as follows. Faith always speeds up the results obtainable from any other scientific principle by making us apply that scientific principle, rule, law, or force more quickly, expertly, frequently, and forcibly. That's all in caps. Okay, let's read that again. Faith always speeds up the results obtainable from any other scientific principle by making us apply that scientific principle, rule, law, or force more quickly, expertly, frequently, and forcibly. The greatest thing faith does is to increase the voltage in those mysterious currents which link us to the divine. Faith can be compared to a vast Niagara. You can use it You can use its power everywhere, all the time, in every act and endeavor of your life, or you can refuse to avail yourself of it and do everything by hand. So faith is this force to have full faith that something's going to happen, even if you don't believe it, but just full faith, 100%. I believe I have full faith in this. I don't know how. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if I'm going to, you know, be in a great mood every day, but I fully know that I will achieve X or this is going to happen in my life or I'll get there. I'll hit this milestone. I love that. Faith helps us always and immeasurably in applying any law because it places our entire being in harmony with the law and gives and leaves no room for opposition. So faith helps us always and immeasurably in applying any law because it places our entire being in harmony with that law and leaves no room for opposition. It gives us, moreover, aside from its assistance in the matter at hand, the realization of how much we can accomplish once we center all our forces on anything. In other words, a conscious faith is based in and backed by the reason. So it gives us the assistance towards what we're working, the realization of how much we can accomplish once we center all of our forces on anything. In other words, a conscious faith is based in and backed up by reason. This kind of faith we never lose. It grows stronger the longer we use it, and so do we. But we do not demand that you have faith in these principles until you try them. In this lesson, we shall give you the rules whereby you may ultimately attain results, whether you believe you will or not. Simple though they are, they operate upon forces that are all powerful. It is not necessary for you to understand the intimacy of these forces in order to put them to work for you, any more than it is necessary for you to understand all the forces and principles operating within your electrical stove in order to make it produce results. No more necessary than for you to be an engineer in order to run your automobile. No more necessary than for you to be an electrical engineer in order to use electrical lights in your own home. That's the truth. It's like I say that all the time about these lights. I don't know how they work. They're plugged into the wall and electricity and blah, blah, blah. All I know is I turn on a switch and it works. I don't know how this computer's working and it's streaming to Lord knows where. I don't know exactly how that works, but I'm using it. I hit stream. You know what I mean? I'm using it and I don't have to know how. That's what she's saying. But you must, just as with these other mechanisms, follow the rules. If I didn't know how to turn the switch on the light, if I didn't know where the switch was, this great power, this light, these lights wouldn't work for me. But does it mean that there's something wrong with the lights? No, it's because I don't know where the button is. That's what she's saying. You know, we only use such a small portion of the infinite power that is within us, tapping into this great power. We all have it within us, but few of us learn these principles and how to use the power of our subconscious mind and then be consistent with it and just do it, even when we don't feel like it. So we have to follow the rules. Your automobile is built upon very complicated principles, but every one of these is at your disposal and will produce results for you if you will only learn the few laws for their operation and apply them. Henry Ford himself cannot run one of his own cars any more effectively than you can if you will master the simple rules of driving. We'll end right there. That's good. I love her so much. All right. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about today's lesson or any of the previous ones. Again, this playlist to all these videos, we're on 55 today. Wow, 55. This is the most epic playlist. I have other playlists of Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich, Neville Goddard. I have The Awakened Imagination, The Power of Awareness. And I think another one, of course, have Napoleon Hill, different chapters on that. I have some videos on psychocybernetics, of course, A Course in Miracles, but that's a whole nother. I should probably start a separate channel for that because that's a whole different vibe, A Course in Miracles. Yeah, but I hope you're enjoying this. Again, thank you so much for all of your support. Let me know if you have any questions, reach out. All my information is below in the description box on the YouTube channel, and you can enjoy all the playlists there. So thank you so much for your support, and we will talk soon, my friends. I will see you tomorrow.